Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to take a journey right into the heart of Jammu. Now, this is a city with a story that you can trace all the way back to a single legendary moment of peace, right on a riverbank. So let's dive in and uncover that story together.
And that really is the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? I mean, think about it. This one almost mythical moment, it literally became the foundation for the entire city of Jammu. It's a really powerful idea, one that's just echoed down through its history. And today, we're going to see exactly how. So, here's the legendary scene that kicked everything off. Imagine this. A king is out on a hunt and he sees something. Well, something impossible. A lion and a goat drinking side by side, totally peacefully, from the same spot on the riverbank, what they call a gut. And right away, he just knew this wasn't ordinary. This had to be a divine sign. And this wasn't just any king, you know. We're talking about Raja Jambu Lochin. And get this was way back in the 14th century BC. He was so moved, so inspired by this vision of just pure peace that he declared that very spot sacred. He thought, this is it. This is the perfect place for a new city. And so he named it Jambu Pora, which, you guessed it, eventually became the Jammu we know and talk about today. But here's a really interesting twist to the story. While Jambu Lochin is busy founding his city of peace on one side of the river, his brother Bahu Lochin has let's say, a slightly different plan. On the opposite bank, he builds the massive Bahu Fort, a real symbol of power, of defense. So right from the get-go, you have this fascinating duality baked into the city's DNA. Peace on one bank and raw strength on the other.
So that whole founding moment, it all went down on a riverbank. And honestly, you just can't get a feel for Jammu without understanding the river itself. It's not just a landmark, it's the absolute geographical and you could say mythological heart of the entire city.
Yeah, the Tawi River is way more than just a body of water flowing through town. It has this incredible mythological name, Surya Putri, which means daughter of the sun god. How amazing is that? That ancient name tells you everything you need to know about how central the river is to the city's identity. It's not just about geography, it's literally part of its soul. Okay, so let's kind of put this all on a map for you, give you the lay of the land. Jammu is nestled right there in the foothills of the beautiful Shivalik Mountains. Its main lifeline, its artery, is the Tawi River, of course. But not too far away, you've got the Aknor area, which sits on the banks of the even mightier Chenab River. And climate-wise, think hot summers thanks to its humid subtropical climate.
All right, so we've talked about the land. Now let's switch gears and talk about the rulers who really molded it into a modern state. I'm talking about the Dogra dynasty. They left such a huge mark on Jammu. I mean, their legacy is literally carved into the city's architecture and its history books.
And this timeline, wow, it really puts the long, sweeping story of Jammu into perspective. You see, we start way back with its ancient founding by Raja Jambu Lochin. Then we jump forward, big time, to 1846. That's when Maharaja Gulab Singh establishes the modern state of Jammu and Kashmir. And then, just a little over a decade after that, his successor finishes up the incredible Raghunath temple, which, by the way, we'll get to in just a bit. You know, one of the coolest things is that you can actually see the dynasty's story just by looking at its palaces. First, you've got the older Mubarak Mandi complex. It's this amazing mishran, that means mix, of local Dogra, Mughal, and European styles all rolled into one. But then, fast forward a bit, and you see the Amar Mahal Palace. This one was designed by a French architect. That shift tells you so much about the growing European influence on the kingdom. And today, it's been turned into a fantastic museum for everyone to enjoy. Now, speaking of that museum, what's inside is just mind-blowing. It houses a solid gold throne. And I'm not talking gold-plated, I mean solid gold, weighing a staggering 120 kilograms. Can you even imagine that? It's just an incredible testament to the sheer wealth and power of the Dogra Maharajas. And all this history and royalty, it brings us to what is probably Jammu's most famous identity. Look, if you've ever heard anything about Jammu, it's probably its nickname, the City of Temples. And trust me, it earned that name for a very, very good reason. The spiritual side of this city is just so incredibly rich. For starters, you've got the gigantic Raghunath temple complex right in the heart of the city. Then, tucked inside that historic Bahu Fort we mentioned earlier, is the Bave Wali Mata temple. It's a really important shrine to the goddess Kali. And if that's not enough,
There's the ancient Pir Ko Cave, a temple to Lord Shiva that some believe has ties all the way back to the time of the Ramayana. Okay, so we've journeyed through ancient legends and royal history. Now let's fast forward to the Jammu of today, because it's a really vibrant, modern city, and in many ways, it's a leader in its region.
And one of the most impressive things about modern Jammu, its focus on education. Just look at this. The Jammu district clocked in a literacy rate of over 83% back in the 2011 census. Now, at the time, that was the highest in the entire region. That's a huge achievement, for sure.
And when you walk around the city, it really is a mosaic of different voices. The main language you're going to hear on the streets is Dogri. But because it's such a cultural crossroads, you'll also hear a ton of Hindi, Punjabi, and Urdu being spoken. It really reflects just how diverse the population is there.
Let's talk money and industry for a second. Economically, Jammu is an absolute powerhouse. On one hand, it's famous for its incredible world-class basmati rice that comes from the Pura area. But on the other hand, it's a major industrial hub. In fact, Bari Brahmana is the largest industrial area in the whole region. It's a perfect example of a city that knows how to balance its traditions with modern progress.
So, as we start to wrap up this journey, let's just quickly recap the essence of Jammu. First and foremost, it is, and probably always will be, the city of temples, a spiritual beacon that has shone for centuries. And right at its very core, it's the land of Suryaputri. Its identity is just completely and forever woven into the story of that sacred Tawi River. And unbelievably, its history goes back even further than we thought. It's home to the northernmost outpost of the ancient Indus Valley civilization. I mean, that connects Jammu to one of the world's very first great urban cultures. Just incredible. And so that leaves us right here. A city that was literally born from a vision of a lion and a goat drinking peacefully together has now grown into this dynamic, modern hub of education, industry, and faith. Its whole story is this amazing blend of harmony and energy. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What will the next chapter, written on that very same riverbank, actually look like?